Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very exciting video. We have a full face of one brand, which is NARS, as you can tell by the video. But anyways, yeah, like I thought, you know, I love NARS as a brand. I love all their products, like barely anything's disappointed me. So I thought, you know, let's just throw everything together. Like one of my best foundations and bronzers and some of my top 5 products are from NARS. So let me just create one full face of NARS and hope you like it. And do you know what? I feel like NARS kind of goes with my rhythm as a person, like soft, wearable, you know, everyday, but natural. But yeah, like look at this face. This is a full face of NARS and I love it. So I hope you love it. And let's just jump straight into the video. Hi guys, so I already have my base on, and if you know me, I love the NARS Radiant Foundation and the NARS Sheer Glow, but today I only have the NARS Radiant on my face because I felt like I wanted more full coverage, and so I mixed 2 shades, Punjab and Fiji, just because I feel like I'm in between. Like if I'm more tan, I'll go Punjab. If I'm more wintertime, lighter, I'll go Fiji. But yeah, like it's so good. Like for me, I feel like if you see my last video, I feel like NARS always gets like base products good. You know, it always looks like skin, which is what foundation is supposed to, which is what foundation is what's supposed to look like, skin, and not natural, but it can look glam. But yeah, NARS do it well. So I'm gonna move on to concealer now, and surprisingly, I haven't owned this before. I've tried it with friends, but not my shade. So I'm using the NARS Creamy Custard Concealer in this, yeah, creamy, no, let me, you know, NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Custard, yeah, that's how you do it. But yeah, I know it's not a full coverage, which is what I like and love, but I think the finish is nice, so let me try it. So I'm just gonna look into the mirror here. Just my usual highlighting areas. I probably will layer this, 2 layers. Only under the eyes, that is, because I know it's not full, but we'll see how it goes. So kind of let's let it cook underneath the eyes. But for everywhere else, I'm gonna get a beauty sponge and just blend it out. Like, when they say creamy concealer, it really is creamy, so like, it really melts into the skin. Yeah, that's the kind of metaphor I like to use. Like, it really melts into the skin. It's really, when I say moisturizing, I don't think like dewy or like slick or oily. It's really like nourishing, I feel like. It's just perfect for under eyes and like, especially if you have fine lines. But so far, so good. I was gonna get a light concealer to highlight with under my eyes, but I'm like, no. Let me stick to custard because it's a safe option. You see? Just disappears in the skin. And yeah. Boom. See that? I think it's slightly brightened my forehead area. Let's do this. Sorry if I'm looking here, my mirror's down here. And I've got like, all my ring lights around me, and I don't want to go blind from putting the mirror straight into the ring light, so, you know. Okay. Do you see? Wow. So I feel like custard, it's not a peachy tone concealer. It's a nice, I'd say neutral, yeah, I'd say a neutral tone. Just because it's not too yellow, it's not too peachy, so I guess it can kind of neutralize as much of the under eyes as it can. Normally, for me, I'd still put a corrector just because I like when I say flawless under eye, I don't want any darkness peeking through, but with this, I feel like it's doing quite a good job, right? Look. Like, it's not a full coverage like your Tarte, Shape Tape, your Makeup Revolution, Conceal and Define. But again, if you know me, as much as coverage is important, also formulation, like this won't settle into like crack under the eyes and not cake up, because it's really light and not watery, but light and creamy. Yeah, because it's a creamy concealer, literally. It really melts into the skin. I might do another layer though, because and I'll use my beauty sponge. But even with a brush normally contains as much of the coverage as it can because it's not a sponge, it doesn't soak or anything. So I'm gonna use a sponge, but I'm only gonna aim it under there. But I'm gonna let that marinate a little bit, like dry out, just so I keep as much coverage as I can. But I'll talk about like what I'm gonna do after. So my under eyes, I normally bake, but I don't have any NARS loose powders, just because I have a NARS, where is it? I have a NARS pressed powder, which is okay, but I don't think, it's like, so I got the NARS soft velvet pressed powder in Eden, and it's not, obviously it's a pressed powder, so it's not gonna have the longevity of a loose powder when you're baking, but let's just test that out, do you know what I mean? So I think it's cooked now, enough. I'm gonna try to avoid the ugly face because, oh wow. Oh wow. Even with a sponge, it's not soaking much product up. Now, let me just zoom in, not zoom in, but let me come forward. I think I like the shade. So see, like I thought, so I'm Punjab, like if we were to put one NARS shade down for foundation, I'm Punjab, but it is still like has a brightening effect. Just because I feel like if I was to put a shade like comparison down, I think it's a quarter lighter than Punjab, so it still has that brightening effect without looking too ghastly. Like when something's too brightening under the eyes on someone's skin, sometimes it can look ashy and emphasize even more darkness, especially if it's not full coverage because it's still letting the shadow peek through. And when you put an ashy colour on top, ash and shadow, they're all within the same family, wants to emphasize each other. But because this is a neutral shade, there's no, like, it's not too brightening. It works well for my under eyes. Wow. I can't believe I'm not gonna set my face like with loose powder like the Patrick Star way. Should I do it? No, let's just stick to NARS completely. Okay, I'm gonna set my under eyes first because it seems to crack first. So my Raw Technique brush. I don't think it will darken down the colour. No, it's not too pigmented, so it's fine. But when they say velvety, it's really velvety. Wow. So I like to, especially my under eyes, I like to pat the powder down just to seal everything down. Because you don't want it to like, when you do swipe, sometimes you remove the product and obviously you want to keep as much coverage under the eyes, and even for the rest of the face. I wouldn't smudge or like wipe. I'm an oily skin, and before I set my face, you could tell that there was a bit of a, not a sheen, but just a soft glow because of the Radiant foundation. And I'm an oily skin, and I still like that foundation just because it has the finish and that I like. It's not too glowy, not too dewy, but it's not too matte. Sometimes I feel matte, sometimes I feel soft matte, sometimes I feel soft Radiant. But what I like about the Radiant foundation is that it's the perfect, you know, I can play it up, I can use a matte fine primer, and I don't have a matte NARS primer today because I just don't have one. But I still use the matte fine primer, and yeah, but everything else is not. But yeah, I still like the foundation, even though it might be geared towards the combo dry, but it's still a friendly foundation, which I like. So now I'm gonna set the whole face. Just a little. Okay, you see it's toned down the, I wouldn't say glow, but just the natural skin finish to a more mattifying velvety look, which is what I like, you know, because I know that my oils will come through anyways, regardless, so I will get a dewy look later on throughout the day. And would I say this powder is absolutely pore minimizing? I don't think it's made for that. I think it's just made for the finish to smooth out a bit. I'm not filling pores because it's not a kind of full pore filling powder or primer, but it does definitely set the face and like mattify it and gives a velvet finish. And literally, it's not a, so like a velvet finish to me, it's like, it's not a flat matte, whereas like matte, it's like has a bit of dimension to it. And like when you wear matte foundation, wet matte powder, you know it's matte because literally you look like, not a porcelain doll, but like it's just so flat, there's no sheen and no skin coming through, which is what I prefer, to be honest, because I don't need a matte primer, matte look, I mean, or texture to make my makeup last long. I can just use, you know, setting powders and whatnot. So next is bronzer. So I have the NARS Laguna, obviously everyone's favourite, can't go wrong. So I have the old packaging, and then this is the new packaging. So short story, my auntie wanted to buy a present for my other auntie, and I already had to back up the old packaging of the NARS Laguna, and they've just released the new packaging. So I thought to myself, you know what, I want the new packaging one. So I gave my auntie the old packaging one. It's a backup, so it's fresh, and I kept the new one for myself, but not different, but yeah. But let's bronze. So like, my favourite bronzer right now is the NARS Laguna anyways, and I use it literally every day, like, even so that I have a backup. And I feel like it's the perfect shade. It's not too ashy, it's not too warm. Really, like, so basically it's not too pigmented. And what people need to think, that when people say, oh my god, I want pigmented, you don't need your bronzer to be ultra pigmented, because it's a bronzer, it's supposed to be a washer colour. Can you see that washer colour? Let me do one side of my face. Yeah, and you just want to wash a colour, not too pigmented, because if it's too pigmented, I'm going to have a brown spot on my forehead and my cheek. Do you know what I mean? It's going to look too muddy. So I feel like it's the right amount of pressed. It's pressed correctly, or the right amount, that it doesn't grab onto the skin too much, but it also fluffs out well and diffuses well, but still shows up on the skin, if you know what I mean. Can you see? It just added so much more to my skin. And I'm normally I'd contour with like an ashier powder, but with the NARS one, I'm happy to just go by itself, literally. Can you see that? I just went Ibiza, do you know what I mean? Like, I might soften up the edges a bit though, because I feel like while I was talking, I applied too much, but it's fine. It's fine. Whoa, it's fine. I think the reason why it's showing a bit more pigmented on my skin than what I normally do is because I use a pressed powder. And sometimes a pressed powder will set your face, but it's not going to completely set the liquid from within. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not fully set when you compared to a loose powder. So when it's a bit wet, the product underneath, like your foundation, products want to grab more stronger, which is not bad. You know, if you have a lighter hand, it's okay. But I'm just still gonna soften up the edges, because I feel like the bronzer grabbed a bit too much on my skin. So can you see I have much more dimension now that I've bronzed and added just colour to my skin. So now I'm gonna use the bronzer to contour my nose, but I normally go in like a warmer shade, and then I go over ashier shade, just kind of like a proper pinch nose. But with the NARS, I feel like with the NARS look, it's supposed to not look like you're wearing makeup. So let's just go with that. That's why I didn't bake and all that malarkey. So I'm just gonna use this mirror, but I can't see anything. And what I like about the colour of the Laguna is that, as I said, it's not too ashy, not too warm. You can still add dimension without looking, oh my god, he's got a nose contour, like, you know. Can you see? It just added a bit of colour to the nose area because it was flat. So can you tell now there's a bit more dimension to my nose now? So what I like about the NARS Laguna bronzer is that it's not too ashy, not too warm, like I said, and you can sculpt or add colour to your nose without it looking like a nose contour, if you know what I mean? Like, oh my god, it's so ashy, you know, because it still has a bit of warmth in it to look like skin. And before, not that I used the bright concealer, but the middle centre of my face looked not flat, but just no colour. Like, everything else has colour, but then why has it got no colour in the middle? So just adding a bit of bronzer to the side of your nose, if you're not trying to go in with your nose, how contour that is, really helps just to look harmonious, you know? So next, I normally use a peachy blusher, not to add blush, but to add warmth and to emphasize the bronziness in my skin. And I don't have anything that's like peachy from NARS, but I do have the NARS Orgasm. I have a small sample of it. Oh my god, it's so cute. So let me show you. They literally gave it to me, like, because I did a big fat order with them. Look how cute these are. This is the mini NARS Orgasm, and this is the mini NARS Laguna. Now as I compare it to the original Laguna, look how cute that is. What am I doing? Look how cute that is. Like the size, it's so cute. But I'll probably give this to my friend because I got a backup of the Laguna, so there's no point me holding this. Like, this is not. I'm not gonna use this, you know, to touch it on the street. Like when I put my face on, I put my face on it. I expect it to last all day with the right products, you know. If you know what I mean. Right, let me blend out my cheeks. So I'm gonna use yeah, Orgasm. I've got a full size of it. It's for aunties. She doesn't know I'm doing this. So, but yeah, it's with the NARS Orgasm. It's like a how do I describe it? A deeper peach with a gold reflex, which is, I don't mind it, but it's a bit deeper in peach than I like. But I'm gonna use it just because I want to stick to the NARS theme, you know. So I'm going quite light-handed with the Orgasm just because I don't want it to look too peachy. But you can tell the effect that I'm trying to go for. Like I'm just adding more warmth and colour to my skin. I'm trying to avoid the blushy look, which is not bad, but it's just not my kind of vibe. Even though I'm adding layers of it right now, but I'm just small layers. I'm really buffing it into the skin. Let me stop there before I do too much. And next, this is one of my most exciting this is one of my most exciting purchases just because NARS is not known for highlighters, just because they're more known for skin and creamy concealer, you know, and bronzer. So like when I found this, discovered this, I was like, oh my god, I need to have it and touch it. So it's the NARS highlighter in Fort de France. Let me see. Oh, it's not catching up because it's reflective. But I know it's not a blinding highlighter because I did test it. But it's really like smoothing and like satiny, and has a gold, no not gold, a champagne reflex. And as I said, NARS natural. So let's go for the natural look today and see how it wears. Because normally people know that I don't wear a blinding highlighter, but I just like something more reflective. So yeah, even me looking into like this small mirror, looking at my natural self, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really looking at skin. But yeah, let's go. Wow. So as I said, it's not blinding. So can you see on my cheek, it doesn't look too, what's the words to describe? Let me find the words. So I'd say this is like a luxurious glow in the sense that when something is too glittery and shiny, it starts looking trendy, which is not a bad thing. Like trends are not bad, but when you want something classical, you know, classic and like elegant, pretty, those kind of words, I think this is the type of glow that you're gonna get. Obviously, the more you add, the more reflective it'll start looking. It's really natural. Like, I don't want to return it, but that is cute. But it's not subtle. Definitely not subtle. It's just not reflective, as I normally do it. Yeah, but it's still cute. I think it'll be good for nose highlight because sometimes with your nose highlight, you want it to look like natural. You don't want it to look exclamation mark. And sometimes, you know what, hands up, sometimes I'm guilty of doing that, but you know, so let's do it in the eye. Wow, it's really natural. Like just by putting it in the eye, it's sometimes I go for like a matte nylon kind of look, but I can make it look natural, just buff it out. But it's definitely not that kind of vibe where it's like reflective. And I must say that sometimes when you do other highlighters like reflective ones, it picks up texture because of the glitteriness and particlesness of it all. But it doesn't do that with this. It's because it's like really, I wouldn't say finely pressed, but because it's pressed like more and less glittery and thick particles, it doesn't pick up as much. It's really smoothing or just flattering on the skin. So I'm just gonna do a nose highlighter. And this is the true test. It looks natural. Oh my god, I like it. Oh my gosh. I think I found my new nose highlighter, or highlight in general. And when I say this is natural, don't think it's a bad thing, because I like natural sometimes too. Sometimes I like putting a bit more highlight, but it's just the vibe that I'm going for at the time. But the thing that matters to me is the colour as well, because I don't like to look like a trend kind of person for highlighter. I like it to look effortless, timeless. I think that's the vibe I'm going for nowadays. I like looking timeless. That's why with my hair colour even, I'm going for ash blonde, because You know, it's timeless. You know, it's not like a blue or too trendy looking. Which is not a bad thing again, but for me, you know, I like to look natural or natural. Wow. Oh. It's really picking up nicely on camera. I feel like, you know, you wouldn't think, oh my god, he's wearing a nose highlight. You think, oh, that's cute. Do you know what? I think this is the last step yet, but do you know what? Like, I'm after this, because I did the NARS face, I'm going to incorporate things from the NARS products line and make my own routine. Like, just, I'm going to use my loose powders, you know, blah blah, I'm going to bake. And you know what? I think it's going to turn out really well. Just to soften up the button nose, but yeah. And do you know what? I think I'm gonna add a bit more Orgasm blush to my face. And do you know the NARS names? Yeah, the blushes are very woo, you know, they're very sexy, sexual. I think one of them is called Deep Throat. I'm just thinking, what in the, you know? I think that's what makes their brand known and sell well, because the names, you know, Attention, BR, whatever. Yeah, I just like sometimes adding blush over the highlighter just to melt it together. Wow, what do you guys think of my NARS face? Cute, right? It's very so I don't think NARS has a setting spray. Yeah, they don't. I know they have skincare. And I don't have NARS skincare money, but I do have NARS makeup money. But anyways, so I'm just gonna use the Urban Decay to set my face, and also I normally apply a loose highlighter. I don't have one, but maybe I'll use the press one. Like, I'll show you what I want to do. I'll show you what I want to do. Like, sometimes I explain it, it's like people are like, who, what? But when I show you, you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so let me get the Fort de France ready. My highlighter brush. Okay, so let's set. Just a light dusting. I don't want it to be too damp. And so I'm gonna use this smaller brush. And this just helps intensify the highlight when you have a, not a wet face, but just a damper face. So the product, you know, product intensifies a bit more. And I only do this on the key points, the highest points of my face, like, you know, the bits that protrude. I shouldn't go too in my nose, because nah, natural. Do you know what I think? Do you know, if I worked in a counter, I think I'd be a NARS person. I used to think I was MAC, but I think it's too like dramatic for me. Yeah, I'm definitely a NARS person. Because there's still colour, there's still a life, but it's still wearable. I call it wearable glam or soft glam, which is my style of makeup. Like, even when I do clients, you know. I think I am done. But I still got foundation on my lips, but do you know what? I'll be right back. Hi guys, I'm back now. So I basically just cleaned up my eyebrows and just took the foundation off my lips and just cleaned everything up. But what do you think? Do you know what? One little thing is that I think, okay, I like a very matte under eye look. And not that this concealer is bad, but it's a bit creamy for my personal self. Just because, like, if I zoom in, I have a natural crease here. No, for aging, do you know what I mean? I'm wrinkling, but with creamy concealers, it tends to want to sit in my lines, but it's not sitting yet. But I predict in the later on throughout the day, if I don't powder down, or if I don't bake at least, it will want to sit and like just not be flattering anymore. But it's not bad. But also it's not a mega full coverage concealer, which is not a bad thing. But compared to my full coverage concealers, that is, like, I know what a full coverage concealer is under my eyes. Like, you can't see nothing, you can't tell me nothing about under eye circles. So, but just something to point out, it's still cute. You know, I'll probably use my full coverage concealer corrector and use this as a highlighting shade, because it's very pretty looking. It's very nice and natural. It's hard to find a very nice highlighting concealer without it looking too ashy, looking too pinky, looking too just ashy in general and bad. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this full face of NARS products, guys. You know, I'm a NARS guy, you know, I have a lot of NARS products, as you can tell, and even my friends know I always post videos, blah blah blah, on my story and Instagram about NARS. And literally, when I tell you guys, I'm telling you, every NARS counter knows me because they're like, they see me all the time. I'm always picking up new stuff for me, for presents, for my friends. Like, literally, I will go NARS Comment Garden. That was a boo boo, boo boo. Anyways, it's still good. But yeah, literally, I can go NARS Comment Garden. I know every single employee there. I'll be like, oh my god, hi Maddie, hi Georgia, hi Claudia, hi, you know, everyone. And even NARS Spitalfield. Oh my gosh. I think after the pandemic, yeah, I was like one of the first customers to go into NARS Spitalfield. And because my pro account ran out, I tried to renew it. So I called them in about, oh, can I renew it here, blah, blah, blah. And like, yeah, come in, blah, blah. And I had all my products ready to be bought. I think she made a like big commission out of me because I spent literally like £600 worth of NARS products. I know, but it wasn't for me, it was like for presents and for friends. So yeah, and oh my god, she felt happy, and every time I visit there, they're so nice to me, like Danny, blah blah blah, Faye, they give me samples and free stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.